Hello, Thunder Wizards. I'm back doing the Manifestation Mastery course videos. My apologies for staying away, but I'm out here living my dream. I just came here to Australia about a week ago, and it took me a while to settle in with jet lag and, all kinds of other things, and indulging in surfing and all that. So, anyway. I am here to talk about some things I've been thinking about in terms of manifesting what you want, getting what you want. So let's talk about some very specific things in your reality that are keeping you from achieving your dreams. Listen, it's really easy for me or anybody to cavalierly come on here and say, you can do anything. You're the only one that limits yourself. You shouldn't limit your dreams. Believe big. And this is where we run into the problems of the oversimplification that I think happens in the law of attraction secret stuff that goes on. Because again, the law of attraction teaches that this universe is built on vibration, which is just a fancy way of saying your thoughts and your feelings. And that at whatever level you vibrate, you will vibrate at that same level, and the other things that are out there that are vibrating at that same level will be inexorably drawn to you. You won't be able to stop it. So if you have bad things in your life, you have bad feelings. If you have good things in your life, you have good feelings. And that's an oversimplification. We've talked about that before. If you haven't watched, please go back and watch the other Manifestation Mastery course videos from the beginning. So bear in mind, this is going to be 21A, video 21A, I believe. And then we're going to have a 21B video. But you have to watch all the way through this first video to find out what you need to do to fix the problem that I'm going to introduce here. So the problem is, we run into this quandary of you're being taught not to have negative thoughts and feelings. And I teach that your feelings have nothing to do with it. It's the actions that you take. You take actions based on positive feelings or positive vibrations. That's fine. Any positive feelings that you get, any hopefulness or belief or faith or anything else that you get, those are well used if they spur you to take action towards what you know that you want. But you can still take action towards what you know that you want, even if you don't feel like it. If you don't feel hopeful, if you're fearful, if you're doubtful, and if you're angry or scared or whatever. Whatever other bad feelings that are supposed to bring these bad vibrations to you, whatever feelings you have, they're fine. But there are some things that we need to do about some of these negative feelings. And so I'm going to talk about some of these negative feelings. And there is a difference between having a feeling and indulging in a feeling. There is a big difference between that. And so what I'd like for you to do right now is I'd like for you to honestly take a look at your life. Honestly take a look and see, is your life the way you want it to be? And be honest. You're not in the seminar with, she who channels Zohar and the other deities. You don't have to look good for anybody. This isn't about that. Be honest with yourself. Be honest about, do you have what you want? I know it's good to be positive, and I want you to stay positive. I do a lot of that myself. But it's important to be honest as well. And do you have everything that you want in your life? Do you have the money that you want in your life? And money doesn't bring happiness, so I don't care if you're poor, as long as you're happy. But if in your reality, money is what you need in order to get the things that you want, then be honest with yourself about that. Do you have the love in your life? Do you have the physical health? Do you have the opportunity? Do you have the job that you want? Okay? Be really honest with yourself about all those things. And then what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to write a list of all the things that you don't like. Write a list of you don't have enough money, you don't have enough health, you don't have the body that you want, you don't have the love life that you want, whatever it is. Write down all of the things that you don't want, okay? So you're going to pause this video and you're going to go do that. So go ahead, pause the video, go get a pen and piece of paper or your iPad or whatever, and go write those things down, okay? Pause. Okay, so if you're back, I'm assuming that you went and got your notepad and paper, which is actually a good thing to do because physically writing is good. It connects to the brain. But I'm okay if you just use your iPad or your computer or your phone or whatever. All right, so you have all the things that you don't like about your life. Good, you're honest. Good for you. See, here's the thing about negative feelings, especially anger. We're going to talk about anger. Anger is a necessary self-defense mechanism. Anger kicks in when your well-being is threatened. If you're angry, even if it's about something ridiculous, it doesn't have to be rational. It means that some part of you feels threatened and your response to that threat is to be angry. The anger is fire. Fire is pushing you to take action. When you do not take action on your anger, your impulse to improve things, when you do not take action on it, then that anger is turned inward and it turns into shame. It also turns into victim mentality. It turns into all kinds of other nasty feelings which don't help you. But the initial feeling of anger, you can't talk yourself out of that. I remember there was a group that I went to and there was a woman that came for a while and she was really in denial. And I came into the group and she didn't like me from the beginning. And the reason she didn't like me was because whenever she would talk about, I don't know why people are talking about these negative feelings. I don't want to go to that lower vibration. And I would say, that sounds like bullshit to me. It sounds like you're denying. And then she would blow up. It was so weird. She would talk about not wanting to deal with anger and these lower vibrations. And then all I would do was just challenge her, honestly, that I didn't think that was working for her, that she wasn't addressing her feelings. And she would blow up and scream and yell at me. It was like, wow, what happened to this person who didn't want to deal with anger? Well, there you have it. She was in denial. She had huge amounts of anger. She didn't want to deal with it, and she was pretending not to have those feelings because it was intolerable for her. She didn't feel that she had the right to have these feelings. So when you have negative feelings like anger, and they're not dealt with, they turn inward and they turn into disease, they turn into victim mentality, they turn into passive aggressiveness, they turn into people pleasing when you want to go out and fix the world. Have you ever noticed that? Maybe you're one of these people, maybe you've noticed people like this who they think that they are out helping the world and people are just like, get the hell away from me. Get out of my life. And they get their feelings hurt because nobody wants to let them help. Well, it's because you're not trying to help. You are projecting your lack of control and you think by going and fixing others, you're going to make yourself feel better. And it's really quite destructive. So these are all the things that happens when you don't deal with your anger, which is your impulse to change something that is threatening your existence. All right, so here's what I'd like for you to do. Now, hopefully you got it in your head that it's okay to have anger. It's not okay to indulge in letting it stew and turn into something else, because that turns into all kinds of other things. But you need to acknowledge your anger. So the next thing that we're going to do is you're going to write down a list of all of the reasons, the justifiable reasons that you can't have what you want. Money is a big one. Say, I don't have enough money, if that's what you think. That you don't have enough money, your job I get this one a lot, the country that you live in, the exchange rate is bad, so you can't afford all kinds of things. Whatever it is. And it's a real issue. I'm not trying to minimize it. I want you to write down the real issues, the day-to-day things that if you could change, you would. Which most of the time people think if they have enough money, they can change it. So why don't you have enough money? Write it down. The exchange rate, my job, my wife, I have kids, I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have a degree, they won't take me, I'm overeducated. Whatever your real life issue is that's preventing you from having what you want or having the money to get what you want, write those down, okay? So, in a moment, you're going to pause the video, you're going to go do that same thing again, and you're going to write down all the reasons, whatever it is, okay? So, pause. Okay, if you're back, I'm assuming that you paused and you went and wrote all those things down. So what are those things? The real life things that are preventing you. You don't have enough money. Why don't you have enough money? You don't have the right job. Why don't you have the right job? Because there aren't any opportunities. Because you don't have the money to go to school. Because your society this. Because your parents that. Because your wife this. Because your whatever limitation. Real life limitation. Okay? You've got all those things written down. I want you to acknowledge how angry that it makes you, how powerless that it makes you feel, that you can't seem to change those things. These are the things that people say to me when I tell them, go after what it is that you want. First, we go through the questionnaire. I'll give it to you again. The questionnaire is, if you didn't have to make money, okay, because that's the first thing. People say, well, I can't. I have to make money. I have to work my job. I can't quit my job. All right. If you didn't have to make money, we'll get rid of that. We're going to go to a fantasy land that doesn't exist in your reality. We're going to go to a fantasy land that doesn't exist, where you don't have to worry about money. So if you didn't have to worry about money, if you didn't have to worry about what other people thought, so in this fantasy land, your parents can't tell you what to do or what not to do. Society can't tell you what to do or what not to do. Your religion can't tell you what to do or what not to do. Your spouse, your friends, nobody can tell you what to do or what not to do. And there is no good or bad thing to do. Another thing that people say when I ask them, what is it that you want to do? They say, oh, it's silly. And I know immediately that's their soul desire. When they say, oh, it's silly or it's impractical, I already know that's it. They don't have to tell me. I already know. Because what they're saying is that other people have told me they won't accept me if I do this, which is another way of saying it's silly, it's impractical. You want to be a dancer. You want to be an artist. You want to be a unicorn with 10 wings. I don't care what it is. Oh, that's silly. That's impractical. I can't do that. Nope. In the fantasy land, you can do all those things. So if you didn't have to worry about money, if you didn't have to worry about what other people or institutions said or what you were supposed to do, what is good or right to do, and you could do anything you want that was only for yourself. You can't do it for other people. Your dream can't be, I want to go around and free everybody from their... That's not it. Unless what it is that you have a desire to teach because it brings you joy. Not because it's going to fix others, but because you, I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I honestly don't care how many of you watch this or do anything about it. It just so happens that some people do, and that works out great for everybody because I love hearing the positive stories that people tell me when they follow my teachings. But I could care less. I swear to you, I could care less. If I came up with all of the cash to do everything that I wanted, and I didn't want to do a video one day, I wouldn't do it. I'd go out there and go surfing. But this is a job that I do, that I love doing, that I've created, because only make money doing what you would do anyway, and I'm doing that right now. But point is that I don't have an ego need, or I don't have a desire, a need to make sure that I heal the world. I could care less. Your life is your business. Your karma is your business. Okay? So if you didn't have to worry about money, you didn't have to worry about other people or institutions or doing the right or the wrong thing. If you didn't have to do anything to please anybody else or to fix anybody else, and you only had to focus on what made you happy, what would you do? Now, whatever that is, regardless of how silly or impractical it is, that is what your command is to do. Your soul has commanded you to do that. If you do not do that, you will become angry. Your soul will get angry with you. You will become angry at yourself. Now, the way that a lot of people experience being angry at themselves is they get angry at the world. This is why I do not tolerate victim mentality. A victim mentality means that you are angry at yourself for not doing what you want, and you are projecting it onto the world and trying to find a rational reason why things don't go the way you want, and so you blame the world. It's society. It's Donald Trump. It's the liberals. It's taxes. It's, I don't care what your reasoning is, you're mad at yourself because you don't have what you want. So I want you to own that. You're mad at yourself. Now that anger is a good thing, because if you listen to it, then you go, well, screw everybody else. I'm going to go do what I want. And you go do it. And you make yourself happy. But if you don't, and you struggle with, well, I have to look good, or I have to do this, or, I'll get more attention if I'm a victim. People seriously do that. I've seen people kill themselves with cancer because they preferred having negative attention than to own the pain of going through the process of owning their own feelings. I'm telling you, people will kill themselves as victims faster than healing themselves a lot of times. Okay? So, what you need to understand is that those excuses, my wife, blah, 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 my parents, blah, 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 I have kids, blah, 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 I have this job I have to work, blah, 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 I can't go become a unicorn with 10 wings because I need to work and this is what I have a job, blah, blah, whatever your excuse is, my job, my kids, my family, my religion, my health, my age, whatever your excuse is, you have anger attached to it. How do I know that? Because you're telling me the reason that you're not doing what you want to do the most is because of whatever your excuse is. It's not practical. It's silly. That means other people won't love me, which means that those people whom you are trying to please, you are pissed off at. Because if you weren't pissed at them, you wouldn't blame them. You blame them when you say, it's not practical, it's not reasonable, nobody will want to hear what I have to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Those are all ways of saying, I hate other people for not accepting me for who I am. So get honest with yourself. I'm not trying to talk you out of those feelings. I want you to have them. I want you to be able to vocalize them and have them. When you say, I can't, I'm a single parent, and I have kids, and I have to take care of my kids, and I just don't have time to pick up and go and windsurf around the world, I'm here to tell you you're angry at your kids. And here's the sad part. If you're angry at your kids because your kids are the reason you can't go and live your life, guess who you're resentful at? Your kids. And guess who is going to feel shameful later in life when they run into the same issue about doing what they want to do? Your kids are going to feel, they're going to say, when they run into that question of what is it you want to do, they're going to say, oh, I want to windsurf, but that's impractical, that's silly. I shouldn't want that. You need to understand that every time that you blame your kids, or when your kids are the reason that you have to work some job that you don't want to work, or that your kids are the reason that you can't go do what you want, you are blaming them. And when you blame them on an unconscious level, you send out that resentment and they pick up on it. Yeah, you don't yell at them, you don't hit them. You're kind to them, you love them, you encourage them. Of course, you do all that consciously and verbally, but unconsciously, you're telling them that it's their fault because they were born. It's their fault that you can't do what you want. And you tell the world you wear this cloak of humility, and you say, I sacrifice for my kids. If it were up to me, I would blah blah blah, but I have my kids to think of, and I don't do that, and I sacrifice for them. What a load of crap. You chose to have those kids. It's not their fault that you're not living your dream. It's your fault. The truth of the matter is that you can live your dream and have your kids. You can do both. The universe loves kids. It loves people who joyfully bring other souls into this universe. And the universe is not going to prevent you from having what you want. So if you believe that kids are preventing you from having what you want, I'm sorry to tell you that you have now used your kids as an excuse to fit in, to make your parents happy, make society happy, and deny yourself what you really want, and you are furious with your kids because of that. If you love your kids, you owe it to them to go and make sure that you get whatever it is that you need to get to make yourself happy. I'm not talking about leaving your kids and going off and, taking the housekeeper to Vegas. I'm not saying that, so don't even try and go there with me. A lot of people want to go there. They want to make two extremes. Well, I can't just leave my kids. Of course you can't leave them. You brought them in here. They're your responsibility. But it's also your responsibility to teach them how to enjoy life. How are they going to know how to enjoy life if you don't go and make it happen? So don't give me any excuses, because I won't buy it. Listen, if you have kids, you're a stronger person than I am. I don't have kids for that very reason. I've known my whole life I'm far too selfish and lazy to have kids. So I'm lucky I don't have that excuse, but that was a decision I've made since I was like 18 years old. I went, you know what? Kids sound like a bad idea because I want to be able to do whatever. Even though I had numerous women that I dated throughout my life who I was in love with, who were beautiful and perfect and everything, and they wanted me to have kids with them. And I said, I don't want to do that. And they said, I'm out of here. And I said, okay, I respect that. Bye-bye. That's just one example. Your job is the same. Your job, your marriage, your society, your religion, whatever it is. Whatever your excuse is for not having what you want is what you are most angry at. Now, I've told you that you're supposed to have your anger feelings. Good. Now, don't go tell your kids, I've just realized I'm pissed at you. Don't go tell your wife or your husband, which you probably do anyway. Don't go and tell them, I've just realized I'm really pissed off at you because I'm blaming you for not having what I want. Don't go tell them. That's none of their business. That's your issue between you and me. I can hear it. They can't. But we're going to fix that in this next video. So if you want to learn how to turn that anger into a powerful NOS boost, nitrous oxide boost in your car, boom, to make you just take off and get into the lead, then you're going to have to go to the B video. The 21B video. You're going to go to neo.thunderwizard.com and you're going to click on the fourth, which is the thunderwizard.com. You're going to get there. You're going to click on Manifestation Mastery Course and you're going to subscribe. And there I'm going to tell you how to use these feelings, these angry feelings that you've been denying or indulging in, how to use them to propel you to become the most successful person that you can be. I know because I did it. I do it all the time. Whenever I'm pissed off, I know, ooh, success is coming for me. My anger is helping me to direct myself towards it. I'm going to teach you how. So go there. Go to thunderwizard.com, click on Manifestation Mastery Course. I will give you the B video over there.